From a desperate three-pointer that nearly changed the game against the Jazz to a full-court pass that looked more like a quarterback's throw, these are the most epic reactions to Nikola Jokic on the court. But that's not all. Stick around to discover how he had even Warriors fans chanting his name by the end of one unforgettable game. First up, the 2021 Western Conference semifinals were a battleground, and Nikola Jokic was ready to show off his moves. Facing a determined Portland defender, he unleashed his secret weapon, the sombor shuffle. With a flicker of his feet, he spun, leaving his opponent flat-footed, and swished a fadeaway jumper like it was nothing. The Portland bench was stunned. They'd never seen anything quite like it. Later in the 2023 regular season, Jokic proved he wasn't just a scorer. He saw the court like nobody else. Double-teamed against the Houston Rockets, he looked like a cornered animal. But then, with a sly grin, he flicked a no-look behind-the-back pass that split the defense like a hot knife through butter. His teammates scored easily, and the crowd went wild. Even the Rockets bench had to smile. They'd just witnessed a moment of pure basketball magic. And then there were the 2022 playoffs, where Jokic went on a triple-double rampage. Night after night, he filled the stat sheet with points, rebounds, and assists, a hurricane of basketball brilliance. He wasn't just dominating, he was changing the game. Commentators ran out of words to describe him. Fans simply sat back and marveled at the impossible things the big Serbian could do on the court. With the 2022 playoffs fading into memory, Jokic continued to amaze, but perhaps nothing illustrated his unique brilliance quite like his near miss in the 2020 playoffs. Game 7 against the Utah Jazz went down to the wire. Time ticking away, Jokic spun past his defender and launched a desperation three-pointer. The ball swished through the net as the buzzer echoed through the arena, but it was heartbreakingly a fraction of a second too late. The crowd held its breath, stunned by the sheer audacity of the attempt, a mix of anguish and respect washing over them. Yet, even the sting of defeat couldn't overshadow Jokic's rise to superstardom. In the 2021 regular season, he ventured into enemy territory, the home of the Golden State Warriors. On this night, Jokic dismantled the Warriors' defense with ruthless efficiency. Points, rebounds, assists, he did it all. By the fourth quarter, a strange thing happened. Pockets of Warriors fans, in a display of ironic respect, began to chant MVP for the man single-handedly demolishing their team. Then came a moment that redefined what a center could do. In a 2022 regular season game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Jokic snagged a defensive rebound. Instead of dribbling up the court, he unleashed a full-court, laser-guided pass that hit a streaking teammate in perfect stride for an earth-shattering dunk. The pass went viral, with commentators in awe of Jokic's uncanny ability to read the game, the likes of which are usually reserved for top-level quarterbacks. The basketball world had witnessed Jokic's offensive prowess before, but never quite like this. In a 2023 regular season game against the Sacramento Kings, he exploded for 50 points in a breathtaking display. Post moves, floaters, even three-pointers rained down. He was simply unstoppable. The Kings coach, desperate for answers, called a timeout. But it wasn't about strategy. It was about forcing his players to pause and simply acknowledge the sheer greatness unfolding before their eyes. The following season, in the 2021 playoffs, Jokic took on the daunting task of facing the league's reigning Defensive Player of the Year. But what unfolded was far from defensive brilliance. It was a public humiliation. Time and again, Jokic toyed with this defensive stalwart, scoring with a mix of fakes, clever footwork, and unstoppable shots. The internet lit ablaze, with fans mercilessly mocking the defender's inability to contain the Serbian force. Jokic's ability to rise to the occasion was never clearer than during the 2019 playoffs. With the series against the Portland Trail Blazers tied at 3-3, he delivered a monster triple-double. His 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 14 assists, a testament to his all-around dominance. But it wasn't just the stats, it was the clutch behind-the-back pass in overtime that sealed the victory. The crowd erupted, sensing a shift in momentum, realizing the Nuggets were heading for a thrilling Game 7. He seemed to take particular joy in dismantling the Golden State Warriors in a 2022 regular season matchup. The Warriors, a team synonymous with defensive prowess, were left helpless. Jokic scored at will, grabbed rebounds effortlessly, and dished out assists with pinpoint precision. His ultra-efficient shooting left Warriors fans so accustomed to their team being the dominant force, stunned, and bewildered. The 2023 regular season brought another weapon to the forefront, Jokic's unstoppable hook shot. Facing the notoriously tough Los Angeles Clippers, he kept going back to his signature move. No matter the defender, no matter how many Clippers converged on him, the hook shot kept falling. It was old-school basketball brilliance, leaving the Clippers frustrated and searching for answers they wouldn't find. With his knack for the dramatic, it seemed only fitting that Jokic would deliver something special on a primetime stage like the 2021 Christmas Day game. Facing the Phoenix Suns and their vaunted defense, he unleashed a performance for the ages. His 41 points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists weren't just impressive. They were a masterclass in basketball brilliance, an instant Christmas classic that fans would talk about for years to come. But Jokic wasn't all about power and precision. He could be downright playful, as he proved in a 2020 regular season clash against the New Orleans Pelicans. Matched up against a smaller defender, Jokic decided to have some fun. Like a guard trapped in a 7-footer's body, he dribbled with crossovers and spins, finishing with a silky smooth step-back jumper. The Pelicans bench erupted in laughter. It was the kind of audacious, joyful move that made Jokic so unique. His penchant for the unexpected reached its peak in the 2023 playoffs against the Dallas Mavericks. Cornered and double-teamed, Jokic transformed into a magician. Without even looking, he let fly a series of over-the-shoulder passes that found their way to wide-open teammates. The Mavericks' defense was thrown into chaos, and the Nuggets surged ahead. It was as if Jokic could see not only the players on the court, but the spaces that would open up before they even materialized. Sometimes, Jokic's most awe-inspiring moments weren't about flashy moves or jaw-dropping stats. They were about sheer grit and determination. The 2020 playoffs provided the perfect example. Facing a 3-1 series deficit against the Utah Jazz, Jokic refused to let his team give in. He poured his heart onto the court, putting up 31 points, grabbing 22 rebounds, and dishing out 8 assists. It was a Herculean effort that willed the Nuggets back from the brink and forced an improbable Game 6. With his ability to rise to the biggest occasions, the 2022 NBA Finals seemed tailor-made for a Jokic takeover. In Game 3, with the series tied at 1-1, he faced off against fellow MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. What followed was pure dominance. Jokic notched an astounding 40 points, grabbed a finals record 27 rebounds, and dished out 10 assists. It wasn't just a win, it was an utter annihilation. Yet for all his brilliance, Jokic never lost his ability to deliver the spectacular with a touch of nonchalance. In a 2021 regular season game against the Orlando Magic, the game hung in the balance, with seconds left on the clock. Jokic received the inbound, pump-faked a defender, and launched a high-arcing, off-balance bank shot. If you liked this video, make sure to watch the next one and discover what happened to the top 7 players drafted before Nikola Jokic. Click on the video now and don't forget to follow for a taco.